The Iruvan story was wonderful. So I am now excited to know more about the second son.
Okay, so Arjun continues on his journeys all around the earth actually, but they say that he moved around towards the east from Haridwar.
Just to add, is it just after he had met Ulupi and this is the same continuation of that same journey?
Yes, the journey continues. So what we are going to do is we are going to go back to the journey, take the son's story and carry on till the end and then come back.
Yeah.
Okay. So now Arjun is moving on from Haridwar and he moves through the Himalayas and supposedly came down southwards to what is the present Orissa, Kalinga basically. And in that region there was this Mahendra mountains. So the Mahendra mountains are where supposedly Parshuram has his ashram.
Okay.
But at that time in the story we are never told that. So he crosses the Mahendra mountains and supposedly beyond that he is told of a very exotic place called the Manipura. So he visits this place called Manipura. Supposedly this is not the Manipur of the present India, the state Manipur. I'm told that the people of Manipur do not like being connected to this association with the Mahabharata.
Okay.
And maybe somebody can explore why. But they say this is not the Manipur that is mentioned in the Mahabharata. And of course, as we know, in the chakras also we have a Manipur in the navel region. So possibly there is some connection which we are not yet told. Maybe there is much more of the Mahabharata which is not told to us. Like in cosmic there's 96% dark matter and 4% is actual matter. So I'm told that the Mahabharata was a much larger body of work.
So this huge volume that we talk about, the biggest epic, the largest thing, is also just a part of the original, which is perhaps unthinkably big.
Absolutely. Some say Mahabharata is the fifth Veda, and there is a lot of this Mahabharata which we don't even know that existed. So even in this there are many stories. Someday I will tell you the ones which I wish to know, because even I am trying to explore what those stories were.
We are right now enamored by the
Yes.
four sons.
So coming back to the four sons, the beautiful story is that Arjun now moves into Manipura. And in Manipura there is a king called Chitrangada who is ruling the city, and he has a daughter called Chitrangada. First encounter of Arjun with Chitrangada is not a very great encounter because Chitrangada actually challenges him to battle.
Okay.
And Arjun defeats her in battle, and that's when she accepts that she will marry him.
Okay.
Because according to her own contention, she would only marry a person who could defeat her.
Okay.
She used to dress up in manly clothes. She had been actually brought up as a boy. Yeah. There is a backstory to this, that in Manipur there was this King Chitravahan's parents and ancestors. They had a kind of a boon or a curse, either way you want to say it, from Shiva, that they will only have one child per generation.
Okay.
And therefore, whoever the child was, whether a girl or a boy, would be the ruler of the Manipura. Therefore, when Arjun proposes marriage to Chitrangada, we actually it's the other way around. Chitrangada proposed marriage to Arjun, but Arjun finally had to go to her father and ask for her hand. At that time he said that only on the condition that whoever is going to be her child will have to stay back here, come what may. You cannot call him from here. He is going to be the next ruler of Manipur after me. In our Vedas, we also have this custom where a grandfather, maternal grandfather, can adopt the daughter's son and make him his own son and groom him to become the next scion of the family. Therefore, this boy slowly started growing up, and his name, because of his brown hair, was Babruvahan. Babru is also a mongoose.
Oh, okay.
So, supposedly he had tawny mongoose-like hair, and he grew up to be a fantastic warrior. Arjun again moved on after about a few, they say 3 winters he spent with her. And once she got pregnant, supposedly there is an apocryphal story there that somebody came and told him, some say Uluchi herself came and told him that Chitrangada had been unfaithful to him. And he left before the boy was born.
Oh.
This story I did not find in the actual Mahabharata. But
So, even otherwise, there is no reference of him seeing his son as a little boy.
I'll tell you that. That comes later.
Okay.
Therefore, Arjun left before Babruvahan was born. Then, after his visits to a little bit of places in the south, he turns back and comes back to Manipur.
Okay.
And there he sees his own Babruvahan once again.
That's a little boy again.
The little boy, he's about a year old by then. In a year's time, he comes back to meet them. While on his trip back towards the Kurujangala, that is in the northwest of India. So he meets them. He supposedly spends a day or two there with his son, blesses him, accepts him, and then moves on from there. So Arjun was aware of Babruvahan. But Babruvahan had no parenting from a father. His mother became his father and mother. Very, very modern looking family, which is what I feel is really forward looking. In a Mahabharata, you have a single mother bringing up a boy. Not one but two, Ulupi and Chitrangada, both of them, bringing up their sons from Arjun. Even before you see the story of Hidimbi who brought up Ghatotkach. Even earlier you see Kunti bringing up her 5 sons. So there is a tradition in India of single mothers, which is very interesting.
Exactly.
The fathers left the families for their own journeys. And the sons used to grow up. Coming back to Babruvahan, now the story moves very, very far ahead, even after the Kurukshetra war.
Okay. But he doesn't feature anywhere in between.
He doesn't feature because of the commitment Arjun made, so he's never recalled for the battle. Though he comes to hear of it and he wants to fight, but the grandfather invokes the clause of agreement, the prenup that they had. So he can't go for the battle. So this Babruvahan is from there, he is little unhappy that he can't go for this, but he continues, he becomes a very noble ruler. We don't know what happens to his grandfather Chitravahan after this, but we come to know that he becomes the ruler while the Mahabharata war is still on. Just after the Mahabharata war, Yudhishthir becomes the king, and then he decides to hold a Ashwamedha Yagya. Now this Ashwamedha Yagya is mentioned in the Ashwamedhika Parva of Mahabharata, and the whole thing talks about how Arjun took the sacrificial horse all across the country, almost on the same journey which he had taken before. So when he goes and reaches Manipura, at that point the news reaches Babruvahan that his father has arrived there. So Babruvahan very happily picks up gifts and everything and goes to meet his father at the border. He's shocked when Arjun abuses him. Arjun says, you are so scared to face me in battle that you bring gifts? How dare you? You are not my son at all. Babruvahan goes into a shock and he goes back to his house and he tells his mother, this is what happened. Now she shouts at him, how dare you go to your father like that? You know he's a Kshatriya. He doesn't care that you were born here or there. He wants to see you fight. He wants to see you being a deserving son to the great Arjun. Hearing this, Babruvahan decides to go and face Arjun. Arjun and Babruvahan have a grand fight. The fight lasts very long, goes over days and nights. Eventually, Babruvahan and Arjun are the only two left in the battlefield, and Arjun and Babruvahan fire their weapons at each other. Arjun's arrow comes and hits Babruvahan on his shoulder and he falls in a swoon, whereas Babruvahan's arrow pierces Arjun's heart in one narrative, and in another narrative it is that he decapitates Arjun. Either way, Arjun falls dead. As he falls dead, there is a cheering from Babruvahan's side. Of course, there are no soldiers left, all the non-soldiers were around. And then suddenly he sees his mother rushing. What have you done? I told you to fight him. I didn't tell you to kill him. Come on. So he says, what do you mean? A Kshatriya fights till death. He doesn't fight to play around. And then she starts wailing and crying. And Babruvahan now sits down in a shock and he decides that I am going to starve to death. I have done the most heinous crime of killing my father. I am going to starve to death. So at that point, Ulupi arrives, running to them. And she says that, hold on, don't cry. You have done what your mother told you, have done what is the duty of a Kshatriya. So now everything is done. So Babruvahan says, he calls her mother also.
Ulupi.
So mother, I cannot bear the dishonor of having murdered my own father. She says, no, you did not murder your father. You actually fulfilled a curse which was given to him by the Vasus. The Vasus had given a curse to Arjun when he had shot at Bhishma, that he will die at the hands of his own son. So that curse had to be fulfilled. For that, Ganga had been appeased, and Ganga had said, this is one way to do this. And then Babruvahan, now that you have killed him, now we will have to find a way to revive him. So now she says that I have a way out. She closes her eyes and prays for the Nagamani, the great Nagamani of Vasuki. It appears in her hands after a prayer, and then she goes to Arjun, touches his body with the Nagamani. The head, if it is decapitated, joins back. If it was in the heart, maybe it was that way. But Arjun suddenly wakes up, totally healed. And no memory of what had happened.
There's no memory
of this.
that.
What
that
was
battle.
the talk after the.
That. Okay.
Obviously, he's dead at that point. So when he wakes up and stands up, Ulupi tells him the whole story of Babruvahan and the Ganga's curse. And then Arjun embraces Babruvahan and says, I am proud of you, my son. And he accepts Ulupi and Chitrangada now. Ulupi is childless, if you remember, Iravan is dead. So then he tells them, come with me to Hastinapur. So they all go to Hastinapur to end the Ashwamedha Yajna. After that, all of them come back. That is the story.